Okay, latest question to come into us is this question. Is the account of Elijah's bodily ascension into heaven in 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 11 a contradiction of Jesus' statement that no one ascended to heaven but he who came down from heaven, the Son of Man, in John 3 verse 13? I want to say right from the outset, no, it's not a contradiction. There are those who do believe that the Bible is full of contradictions. I'm not one of them, and I believe that this has got a very simple answer. So I'm just going to bring that very quickly. First of all, I think we should look at the two passages in question. The first passage, the thing that Jesus stated in John chapter 3, came out in a conversation he was having with a guy called Nicodemus, one of the Pharisees. And this is what Jesus said to him in verse 13 of chapter 3. He said, "No one has ascended into heaven except he who descended from heaven, the Son of Man," making that claim about himself, saying that he, being the Son of Man, is the only one who had ascended and descended into and out of heaven. And yet the question raises the scripture in 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 11, which refers to Elijah and how he was taken up in a chariot with flaming horses. And I'm going to read that one now. That's in 2 Kings chapter 2, just to show that scripture very quickly. And this is what it says. 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 11. He was having a walk with his mate Elisha, and it says, "As they still went on and talked, behold, chariots of fire and horses of fire separated the two of them, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariots of Israel and its horsemen. And he saw him no more." Now, very simply, I believe that when Kings was written, there was no Old Testament concept of heaven as we understand it back then, and we have absolutely no guarantee that when it says that Elijah went to heaven, that he went to the heaven that Jesus was talking about. I'm not going to pretend that I'm very good at Hebrew or Greek. I struggle with English, but there's a helpful Hebrew word which I want to try and explain to you. It'll come at the bottom of the screen under here because I'll spell it for you just in case I pronounce it wrong. But when it says about Elijah going to heaven, the word for heaven is Shamaim, which was used to refer to the sky, to up there. So if you see a plane up in the sky, you saw a plane up in the Shamaim, or a hot air balloon or whatever. That's the heaven it was referring to. So it says that when Elijah was taken by these flaming horses in this flaming chariot, it's saying that he was taken up into the sky. It doesn't even say that at that point he went to be in the presence of the Lord forever. We have no guarantee that that's what happened. Whereas when Jesus spoke about heaven, and when he was using the word, you got to work with me on this because I'm not Greek, okay? But it's Waranos or Uranos or something like that. That word's going to appear by here as well right now. There it is. That word was used in the New Testament to refer to the presence of God in heaven. There was no contradiction between what Jesus said and what happened to Elijah. So I hope that clears it up for you. However, what I do need to sort of bring out here at this stage of my little video response, is only going to be a quick one, is this. Why are you looking for contradictions in scripture? I appreciate that sometimes people look for contradictions because they have a real issue and they think, well, if that gets addressed, then I'll believe. But there's other people, they want to find contradictions because they want to find an excuse not to believe. And I want to share a scripture with you just to close this, and it's in Jeremiah chapter 29. And this is my prayer for you, and this is my prayer for everyone who's watching this. If you don't know God, and if you don't know the Lord and the truth of the Bible, and the scripture which I want to share, Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 13 says this: "You will seek me and find me. When you seek me with all your heart, I will be found by you, declares the Lord." I want to ask you a question. You asked me a question, so I'm going to ask you a question. Did the question that you asked me come from a place where you're seeking the Lord with all your heart, or were you trying to disprove the Lord, or were you trying to find reasons not to believe? The scripture is clear, is that if you seek God with all your heart, with sincerity, you will find him. However, if you are not seeking God with all your heart, but rather trying to almost wrestle with God and find reasons not to believe in him, then there's no such guarantee. My prayer for you, and my prayer for all those those who, who are sending questions into this series, is that you would seek him with all you got, and that you would find him to be the God that he says he is. There's a lot of people, they throw a lot of accusations and a lot of apparent contradictions in the Bible. I've looked at a lot of them, and they can all be explained very simply. So my concern is more your motive than whether I can trust the Bible or not. I hope and pray that you do seek God and that you do find him. God bless you.